Why women keep certain men as an option instead of choosing them. There's a painful truth many men eventually discover. A woman can genuinely like you and still never choose you. She can enjoy talking to you. She can laugh at your jokes. She can text you every day. She can even become emotionally attached to you. Yet somehow, months later, you realize something. Nothing is moving forward. You're still in the same place. And that's when confusion starts taking over. Because in your mind, everything looked promising. So you start asking yourself questions. Did I move too slowly? Did I do something wrong? Was I not attractive enough? Did she find someone else? But sometimes the answer is much simpler than that. Sometimes she never planned on choosing you in the first place. Instead, she kept you as an option. Now, before people get upset, this is not about saying all women do this. Not at all. But some people, whether consciously or unconsciously, keep certain people around because it benefits them emotionally. And if you don't understand how this works, you can waste a lot of time hoping for something that was never moving in the direction you imagined. So why does this happen? Let's break it down. Number 1, you provide comfort without pressure. This is probably the biggest reason. You make her feel good. You make her feel safe. You make her feel heard. You make her feel appreciated. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The problem happens when all your value stays inside comfort. Comfort is valuable, but comfort alone does not always create romantic urgency. Think about it this way. If she knows she can always access your attention, always access your emotional support, always access your availability, there is no pressure for her to decide anything. The situation becomes easy, and human beings naturally stay in situations that feel easy. This is not manipulation every time. Sometimes it simply becomes a habit. She gets used to your presence. And over time, your presence becomes normal. She stops seeing it as something she could lose. She starts seeing it as something that will always be there. And once that happens, movement slows down, because certainty can sometimes reduce urgency. Number 2, you became an emotional safety net. Many men accidentally become this. An emotional safety net. This is the man she talks to when she is stressed. The man she talks to after a bad day. The man she calls when life becomes overwhelming. The man she depends on emotionally. But here's the problem. Being emotionally important is not always the same as being romantically important. Many men confuse the two. And honestly, it is easy to understand why. Because when someone shares their life with you, it feels significant. You start feeling close. You start feeling connected. You start believing a relationship is naturally forming. But emotional dependence does not automatically create romantic attraction. Sometimes she simply feels safe with you. Safe enough to keep around, but not enough to choose. And those are two completely different things. Number 3, she likes the idea of you more than the reality of a relationship. This happens more often than people realize. She likes the possibility. She likes knowing you are there. She likes having someone who genuinely cares. But she does not necessarily want the responsibility that comes with an actual relationship. Relationships require decisions. Relationships require effort. Relationships require accountability. Keeping someone as an option does not. She can enjoy the benefits without making the commitment. And many people unconsciously stay in that space because it feels easier, especially if they are uncertain about their own feelings. So she stays close enough to keep the connection alive, but never close enough to fully commit. Number 4, you are always available. This one is difficult for many men to hear. Being available is not a bad thing, but being endlessly available can sometimes work against you. Imagine this. Every single time she texts you, you reply instantly. Every single time she needs something, you show up immediately. Every single time she disappears, you welcome her back without hesitation. What happens? The dynamic becomes predictable. And when something becomes too predictable, people can begin to take it for granted. This does not mean you should play games. It simply means your entire life should not revolve around one person. Because people are naturally attracted to those who have a life they genuinely enjoy, not people who pause everything whenever someone appears. Healthy boundaries create healthy attraction. Number 5. She is keeping her options open. This one is simple. Sometimes she genuinely does not know what she wants. And instead of making a decision, she keeps multiple possibilities available. Again, this is not exclusive to women. Many people do this. They fear making the wrong choice. So instead of choosing, they delay choosing. And while delaying, they keep certain people close. The problem is that the other person often has no idea this is happening. He believes progress is happening. Meanwhile, she is simply avoiding decisions. This is why time matters. Because if months continue passing and nothing changes, that itself becomes information. Time reveals intentions. Eventually, you have to stop listening to words and start observing patterns. Number 6. She enjoys your validation. Everyone likes feeling appreciated. Everyone likes feeling wanted. Everyone likes knowing someone values them. But some people become attached to that feeling itself, not necessarily to the person providing it. This is dangerous because validation can create false hope. You may think, she always texts me. She always reacts to my stories. She always checks on me. She must like me. But ask yourself something important. If all the attention stopped tomorrow, would she actively fight to build something real? Or would she simply move on? The answer to that question often reveals everything. Because genuine romantic interest eventually seeks clarity. Validation seeks continuation. Those are not the same thing. Number 7. She doesn't feel like she will lose you. This is one of the biggest hidden reasons. Human beings naturally value things that feel uncertain, not because they love games, but because uncertainty creates awareness. When something feels guaranteed forever, urgency disappears. And many men accidentally communicate this message. I'll always be here, no matter what. At first, it sounds romantic, but over time, it can create imbalance. Because commitment should never be one person permanently waiting while the other person decides whenever they want. Healthy relationships are built when both people actively choose each other, not when one person waits indefinitely. Why men stay stuck in these situations? Hope. Hope is incredibly powerful. Hope makes you ignore patterns. Hope makes you ignore time. Hope makes you ignore reality. You keep saying, maybe she just needs more time. Maybe she is scared. Maybe she is not ready. Maybe things will change. And sometimes they do. But often, patterns repeat themselves. If 6 months have passed and the dynamic has not changed, you have valuable information. Do not ignore information because of hope. Because hope without action can trap you for years. What should you do instead? Do not become angry. Do not become bitter. Do not try to force her to choose you. That never works. Instead, shift your focus. Build your own life. Maintain your own standards. Keep your own identity. And stop trying to earn someone's decision. Because real relationships are not built on endless persuasion. The right person will not require constant convincing. You should never feel like you are applying for the same position every single day. If there is one thing to remember from this video, it is this. Never confuse being important with being chosen. You can be important to someone. You can matter to someone. You can even become part of someone's daily life and still not be their choice. That is why you must always pay attention to actions, not possibilities. Because possibilities can keep you stuck. Clarity moves you forward. The goal is not to become the man everyone keeps around. The goal is to become the man who is genuinely chosen by someone who wants to build a future with you. And once you understand that difference, you stop wasting years waiting for someone to make a decision they were never planning to make. Click the subscribe button, like, share, and follow for more.